Hello, true art believers, and welcome to today's live art stream. This is Pierson. I am the number one live art streamer in the world, and today is day 231 of 300 days of drawing, and we're going to explore various ways of drawing the foot. And what I mean by that is like just really simple forms. We're not going to get into detail. We're just going to kind of play around with these simple block-like forms and kind of explore various options on how to kind of pursue the foot. And hopefully, I learn a little bit from the process, and maybe I'll be able to describe it as I'm going through the steps. So let's start today's live art stream, shall we? All right, so we got our little thingy here, right here. Yep, buddy. Okay, let's get this out of the way. And so we're just going to go play around with today's live stream, and we're going to press the time lapse here, move this, zoom it, move it right here, and we're just going to kind of play around. We're not going to really get too in depth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of start out by practicing something. We're just going to start by practicing a simple little shape here, and I'm just going to kind of get acquainted to this drawing of a foot. And then we're just going to go from there, right? We're just going to go get more elaborate with each preceding drawing. So I'm just kind of getting used to it, and playing around. So now the next thing I want to kind of do is I want to sharpen that up, and we're going to add something like this. I'm going to add a little ridge here, and we're going to do something like this. So all I'm doing right now is just kind of warming up because I'm a little rusty on drawing feet. I'm actually quite rusty. I'm not actually that good at drawing feet. So we're just going to practice these shapes until they become second nature. So like a profile. So now what I'm doing is kind of like a profile, but I'm gonna put something like this. I'm gonna add something that's gonna be kind of like a act as an arch. So it's gonna look like a boot here, right? Now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a circle. Let's play around here and do a circle, and then that's gonna act like as a it's gonna act as a like ankle. So now we're going and making iterations here. So there's no right or wrong way to go about it. I'm just doing a profile of the foot, and then slowly want to dial it in. Who knows? I don't know if it's going to change much from here, but we're just going to keep doing it and then kind of modifying it as we go. So now I'm going to do the same thing. Let's do the ankle thing right here, and let's do something right here to kind of signify the heel, and let's make we're going to make it something like this. And now we're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to kind of pivot down to kind of maybe signify like toes. We're going to do something like this, right? So we're just kind of changing the shape just a little bit. So we're kind of thinking about shapes, and we're thinking about how we can make them a little bit more in detail. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I haven't drawn feet in so long, and I have to kind of start from like a basic shape component and just build off from there. And and as I look into other ways or other iterations of or other approaches that other artists are doing, I'm going to be able to apply them and probably talk about them a little bit more. And so we're just going to do that. Now we're going to do that. I like the ankle. I like the circle part. I'm going to keep that. That's a nice idea. I like the other circle as the heel, right? Kind of acts as a heel here. And now we're going to do the same thing, but let's add a little bit of a curve. I'm running out of room. I'm going to do that little toe. I'm going to add this. That's a little bit off. I've kind of scrunched it up because I ran out of room here. And I like what's going on here. It's a little bad, but we'll keep moving along. Okay, so now we're going to tighten up the lines a little bit, and we're going to do another one. One more like this. Yeah, one more like this. And Well, actually, we're going to do two more like this. We're going to shrink it down. And we're just going to start by adding a little bit more curves to them. Yeah, doesn't look, that's not too bad. It's okay. Maybe add some toes here. Right? So we got this ankle here. Now I'm not really getting too in depth. I'm just kind of starting out practicing, and then eventually, maybe in the near future, when I get more acquainted with structuring feet, I will get a little bit more elaborate. So I think this is pretty good. Let's do that again. Do the circle method. Do another circle for the heel. This is something I kind of encountered from another artist. Forgot the dude's name, but I think it's a pretty good approach just for like a simplistic approach, like a simple start to kind of get your drawing started. You know, certainly there's more technical ways to go about it. Let's add. There's more technical ways to go about it, but this is working for the time being. And let's add a toe here and a toe there. No, like that. There we go. And yeah, so and maybe let's do like a some sort of like simple little shadowing. I don't know. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to zoom out real quick. So you can see what I kind of did is I just kind of started out with like simple shapes and kind of made them a little bit more elaborate and kind of tweaked them as I went. The bottom two aren't really changing much. And these two have a little bit of a change. This one's not that good, but like the most change is occurring at the top. So let's shrink this down and move this out of the way. You know, put that right there. And then we'll go to a different layer and we'll play around right here. Let's go on this layer. We're going to zoom in and I don't know. Let's start out by let's do something different now. Let's go to a different approach. Something that I've been kind of pondering today. Let's pretend that block shape is now like a three-dimensional shape. So, and this is something I kind of gathered from another artist, another YouTube channel, but theirs is a little bit more elaborate. I'm going to just kind of let's treat it as a simple like, so oh, there's some paper sliding down there. Okay, so let's pretend that this is your foot, right? And we're going to move over here, and let's put it. We're going to swirl it in a like a 3/4 view. So we're going to make this into a block. So basically, what we're going to do now is we're going to make it into a block. So, right, like a block that is, you know, right? So this is what I've been thinking about all day is like how I can simplify the shape and then modify it more and more. And certainly there's better ways, other artists that can do it better than me right now. And that's just that's just lack of knowledge, right? I'm not, I don't claim to be an expert at the figure. And I mean, I'm decent at it, especially when I have a substantial amount of time to work on the figure. But this is what I'm going to start doing for my remainder of live art streams, except for Saturday, which Saturday I think I'm going to be doing. I'm going to continue my cactus drawings because I want to be able to make and have an actual piece being made. And so that will be a way to go about that. All right. So now we have something like this, right? So this, obviously, if you think about it, if you want to think about it, like basically what I'm doing is this would be like the toes, right? You'd have your toes right here, you know, right? And then that would be your ankle or your heel and so forth. So I'm kind of breaking it down in that regard. Okay, so now let's go over here and let's modify that again. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically we're gonna add a top plane to this shape, something like that, but only we're gonna extend it. So that's gonna like that's gonna be like the what would you call it? That's gonna be like the it would be like the ankle joint where the tibia and fibula, I think, insert into the ankle or the ankle. Those bones are the ankle. There's not like an actual ankle. What creates the ankle is that those two bones, right? So we're gonna do the same thing now. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna make a I'm gonna go farther out this to the right. A like a top plane right here, and then now we're going to basically make a a long like top like a slight decline angle here for the foot shape, and then we're just going to cut off that form, right? So something like this. So what this does now is it basically it's starting to make it it's you're going from this to this, right? And now you're gonna make we're gonna make it a little bit more elaborate, right? So the next one we're gonna do is we're gonna do another one. We're gonna keep this top plane like this right now. I can see myself end up with further practice end up putting like a top of like a rounded edge, you know, or like a rounded type form like this for future reference. But I think that's fine for now. So we're gonna do the same thing now. This time we're gonna do a top plane like that. And then what I want to do is I want to round this edge like right here. I want to round it out. So it's going to kind of create a foot shape for me. And we're just going to keep doing this until I slowly whittle it and kind of break down those forms. And I'm trying to do this to kind of figure out how I am going to kind of reverse engineer some of the processes that I'm seeing from other artists. Again, not an expert at this. Like the artists I see on YouTube, very flippin' good. You know, they're really good. Partially they're good. They're good digital on the digital media, but also they're really good at the use. They're good drawing on paper, but they're also really good on the digital platform because they know and understand the program. And you know, I know and understand the program, but not like they do. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is to do the same thing, kind of do this. But we're gonna do like a little curve, right? A little curve that is kind of supposed to like signify your toes. You know how when you look at your foot from if we're gonna make this into a block form, if your foot is like this is your foot. If your foot was a like a Minecraft block, right? It looked like this. But if you wanted to add a few more pixels, right, to your Minecraft block, it would end up, you know, kind of like that, right? So now what we want to do is I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to I want to add like an arch here. So I want to kind of hack away a section like that and see how that looks, right? So I'm going to hack away a section like that. right? So we're going to go, actually, we're going to move this down. We're going to take this. Wait, wrong layer. Take this. We're going to shrink it. Right? And then we're going to go to this layer. So we're going to do the same thing. Let's just, some people would actually cheat, just copy this shape and just reproduce it over and over again. I'm going to redraw it over and over again because it's good to practice these shapes and try to maintain consistency. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here and I'm going to do the same shape or try to, or try to make the shape a little bit better this time. And we're going to make the angle a little less. We're going to make the angle longer, and we're going to kind of make this foot longer. Now, we're going to take this, and what I want to do is I kind of want to do something like that. And not that good. I don't even like that. That's not that good. Let's see. Well, that's fine enough for now. Let's do this and just kind of, right? And so now what this kind of looks like is it kind of looks like the beginnings of like your toe. Like your for to draw this again, right? For to draw this again. Although I'm getting kind of narrower. I'm losing that angle. So what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to kind of go back at this, but it's starting to look like if we were to go on top, right here, and if we were to go on top, it's starting to look like we're getting a toe to kind of show right there. A toe to show. Faux show toe, right? And then you got your other toes that you could kind of put those in. I'm not really good at this. There we go. I'm not that good at the toes. I'm kind of oversimplifying it there. But so that's what's. There we go. I drew in the wrong layer too. All right, so we got something like that. Now we're going to move in. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to move over here. So let's try going over here and try a different, another approach, right? So what we're going to do now, let's see. What should I do? I've been thinking maybe what I'll do is we'll curve this like that, or we'll make it into a more of a curvy shape. That way it starts to feel more like a foot. Maybe what also we should do is the pretend that like, so if we're going to do like a cross section of the foot of the shin and the ankle, like there's this Achilles tendon in the back of your foot. It kind of makes that little ankle like little shape there. Maybe I want to include that there, and then have this rounded. So we're going to try something like that. So maybe what I'll do is I'll make a kind of like a shape like this for the top. And we're going to convert this into this, like this right here into this shape. And we're not going to like get really intricate around. We're just going to leave it like that. And we're going to make that line like before. And then do the curve. And then we're going to do this. And now what I'm going to do is instead of it being straight, I'm going to start curving. I'm going to add a little bit more curve to some of these forms here. All right. So now we have a more elaborate form, and this could kind of, now we're starting to get like a feeling that this is where the foot kind of goes into this place here, right? Again, this is a very overly now. Now I'm getting to the point where I'm 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 past my level of understanding, and I need to kind of do a little bit of research. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of play around and see where this goes, and probably try to apply some of the other principles um, that I was learning. So I'm going to do the same thing right here, and we're going to see what happens. Right, we're going to see what happens. So I think maybe what I want to do is I want to add. This is something I want to do. Is I've been thinking about like what if I added a a kind of like a cylinder that acted as like the ankle, and then something like this. So this is where the top of the foot is. We're to kind of make this like into a little structure. I don't like this. Right. So now we're just kind of playing around and seeing how we can manipulate and think about anatomy as like forms and structures. You know, again, I'm not really good at this, so this is kind of forcing me to think about it a little bit differently. So now we're gonna add a toe here. Like this, and then kind of just go around, play around, and see what happens. Maybe I want to have the middle toe. Is it that index toe a little bit larger? Who knows? All right. So 22 minutes. Okay. So now what I want to do is let's kind of shrink this down again. We're gonna play around some more. Just kind of play around some more here and see what I can come up with. And then when I get more like information or more ideas on how to work these forms, I will start talking about them a little bit more. And you know, I think this is a pretty good example. I think it shows some nice things occurring. You know, of course, there could be some better, but it is what it is. Let's see here. All right, so we're gonna remove this. Yeah, buddy. All right, let's do another layer, and let's just kind of play around over here. So what I want to do now is let's do something where let's just kind of do a front view. And this is going to represent the ankle, and we're going to treat it simple. First things first, we're just going to treat it like a ball that a pyramid, a ball that a pyramid kind of pierces through, you know? So you got a ball and a pyramid piercing through. And the next thing you want to do, this is a front view. So you have next thing you want to kind of think about is like there's a ball, and then that pyramid that's piercing through that sun, it's gone. It's just this, right? Now you want to do the same thing. We're going to tweak it a little bit. Ball, and then maybe make the pyramid a little bit wider on this, and then have it still. So it's like this to this, a little bit wider. Then maybe the next one you do the same thing, and then you shift it, and then you add these little joints right here, because I don't know. I don't know the exact. Whoa! I don't know the exact anatomy or the bones, but I know like the bone that is on the leg. Like you got the shin. I know like it's not like it doesn't look like this, but I know that bone, this bone right here, is lower than this bone. So like the side bone right here, that kind of wiggles up and down a little bit. So it's lower, so this part of the ankle kind of is lower, and then you put that foot there, and we're not even going to do anything yet. We're not even going to change much. We're just going to keep it flat like this. We're going from this to this to this, and then we're just adding some ankle joints here. There's no like set stage for all of this. I'm just kind of playing around here and then seeing what happens. Right? And so let's see. Form of minutes, I can probably jump in to get a little bit more detail from there. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next step we might want to think about when we're drawing a foot. These are just like the basic structures you want to start off, and how I'm kind of rationalizing it. I haven't gotten to like the toes and all that stuff. And once I get more knowledge and understanding of how to structure that, I can talk about it a little bit more. But otherwise, I'm like, what is it? Who's that comic artist that doesn't draw feet? Is it Rob Liefeld or some other person? There's an comic artist that is notoriously known for not drawing feet. Okay, so now here you're gonna draw a circle for the ankle, and then we're gonna add the shift in the ankle form here. I think I made the brush too big. Yeah, I made the brush too big. That's kind of. And you got that ankle right here, ankle right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit more elaborate. So let's add that. Oops, that doesn't look good. Let's add tilted, and then add this type of form here. So now we have like the area that your toes are going to be at, right? Something like that. Obviously the toes are going to be smaller than this, but right. And then it gets more elaborate from here. What you can do is like the toes actually kind of zigzag like this. They do like I do this like exaggeration. Obviously they don't look like that, but like they kind of go in and they divot out when you're drawing your other toes, right? But we're not going to get to that today. Pretty much because the lack of knowledge at this point. So let's just kind of do that again, and let's see if we can make it a little bit cleaner. Do something like this, and then we're just gonna kind of add some more details, and not too much, because this isn't, I'm not like, this is all from imagination, and I don't know. I do a little bit better without this source material. So that, and then let's do one like right here. Let's split this. I'm going to split this area in half, so I know where two toes are going to be at. So like there's going to be a toe right here and toe right here. So let's kind of, and then maybe something like that, and then maybe there's another toe right here. I don't know. I'm a little off, but that's fine. Another thing is we need to think about like how the shape of the foot. The foot kind of does something like this. It kind of does this like arcing shape here, and ankle kind of does something like that. There we go. I think that's good for the day. Anyways, so that's a little bit more elaborate, but that's just some ways to kind of think about how to structure feet. And I'm learning a little bit, and each time I do this, I probably will get there. I'm just going to get better and better and better, and then hopefully be able to explain it better each time. Not like yesterday where I was like struggling with the hands. I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing because I just haven't been doing hands for a while. But I actually watched a few YouTube videos on the feet and I got reacquainted with drawn feet, and I was able to kind of recognize some of the things that I did back in the day when I was drawing the figure. So and this is some of the things I was thinking about when I was drawing the figure back in the day, and I haven't drawn the figure in so long that it's really new. So we're going to just call it a day, and I'm gonna sign this. All right, let's just do another right here. We're gonna sign it. Put a P. Let's do it here. Okay, P. Let's go. Sorry, gotta go right here. P21, and this is day 231 out of 300. Right. So we had quite a bit of things done today. So we had yeah, we did a lot of little variations. You know, this one. Yeah, lots of variations on how to kind of approach the feed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of crop these out, and so that they look a little bit more organized, a little bit better. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's live art stream. I am the #1 live art streamer in the world. This is Pierson, and I hope you enjoyed today's anatomy studies. Anyways, if you like this type of content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and or Twitch channel, whatever platform you're watching. And I hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Cheers.